Okay, back again to number 6. Yeah, the last problem. Find the equation of the normal of each curve at the given point. Here, okay. The thing is, you have to understand that the gradient of normal, yeah, is basically -1 over the gradient of tangent. Yeah, gradient of tangent, this will be always the first derivative of the function and then plug in by the x coordinate of the given point. Yeah, okay. For instance, if there is a curve, yeah, this is the function of the curve, and then this is the tangential point a comma b, and let's say this is the tangent. Remember, normal will always be perpendicular to the tangent. So this will be the normal. That's why the gradient of the normal will be -1 over the gradient of the tangent. Yeah, okay. But you see the problem here, the x coordinate given, but we haven't yet we do not know the y coordinate of the tangential point. So we have to find. Yeah, okay, okay, okay. We can find the y coordinate. Yeah, so the f2, yeah, this will be the y coordinate. 5 minus 2 times 2 cube. Then this will be what? 5 minus 4 cube equal to 1. Yeah. So the tangential point here, the given point will be 2, 1 later on. Yeah. Okay. 2, 1. Okay, then continue finding the gradient of the tangent first. Yeah. Before you can find the gradient of tangent, we got to find the derivative. Yeah. Derivative of the function. The function, let me write down here, 5 minus 2x to the power of 3. Then the derivative will be 3, 5 minus 2x to the power of 2 multiply with, yeah, 0 minus 2, right? 0 minus 2 is, yeah, -2. Yeah. So here the derivative is what? -6. Yeah, we can write this down as -6. 5 minus 2x to the power of 2 squared. Yeah. So the gradient of the tangent right here, just plug in this by the x coordinate. Yeah, the x coordinate by 2. Yeah, then this will be -6. 5 minus 2 times 2 square. This will be -6 times 5 minus 2, what? 1, yeah. To the power of 2, we get here -6. Okay, now let's find now the gradient of the normal, which is -1 over gradient of the tangent. Then this will be -1 over what? -6, yeah. So gradient of normal will be 1 over 6. Yeah. And then we find the equation using this formula, y minus y1 mx minus x1. Since we are finding the equation of the normals, here must be the gradient of the normal. Yeah. Don't replace this by the gradient of the tangent. You got to use the gradient of the normal. Y minus y1. Y1 here. Yeah. 1, yeah. 1. Here 1 over 6. Then x minus 2. Yeah. Y minus 1. 1 over 6 multiplied to x. 1 over 6x minus 1 over 6 times -2. 1 over 3. Okay, then this will be 1 over 6x minus 1 over 3 plus 1. This will be 1 over 6x what? Plus 2 over 3. Okay, that's the answer for A. Yeah, the equation of the normal. Okay, let's continue with finding the equation of the normal of B. Yeah. Okay. The B. The function is 2. We can express this as x minus 5 to the power of half. Yeah. And then we apply chain rule to find the derivative. Half times 2, 1. No need to write. Just write away x minus 5 to the power of subtract by 1 negative half times what? Derivative of x is 1. Derivative of 5 is 0. 1 minus 0 is basically 1. Yeah? So 1 multiplied to the front. So it's basically x minus 5 to the power of negative half, which we can write this as what? 1 over x minus 5 to the power of half, right? Which we can express this also as 1 over root of x minus 5. Yeah. Okay. Then find the derivative. Find the gradient by what? By plug in. This is the gradient of tangent. Yeah. Tangent. Plug in the 9. 1 over root 9 minus 5 is basically 1 over root 4. So we get 1 over 2. Now we continue finding the gradient of the normal. Yeah, because the problem here asks you to find the equation of the normal. So negative 1 over gradient of the tangent. So this will be negative 1 over half. Then we get here negative 2, yeah? Negative 2. Okay, we already find the gradient of the normal. Now we continue using formula to find equation of a line. In this case, finding the equation of the normal. So we have to put here gradient of the normal, yeah? Don't use the gradient of the tangent, yeah? Y minus y1. What is y1 here? Oh, we haven't yet find the abscissa. Abscissa. The y coordinate. Okay. I answer right here. So f of 9, yeah, 2 root 9 minus 5. So f of 9 here will be 2 root of 4. Yeah? So 2 times 2 equal to 4. So basically the tangential point here will be 9,4. Yeah? So right here will be 4. Gradient of what? Is it half or negative 2? Yes, negative 2 is supposed to be gradient of the normal right here because the equation asks you to find the equation of the normal. Negative 2, yeah? So x minus what? Minus the x1, the abscissa, the 2, the 9, the 9 here. So this will be x minus 4 equal to negative 2x plus 18, then negative 2x plus 18 plus 4. So we finally get to the end of this video. Yes. Okay, that's all. The answer. Good luck, guys. God bless you. Study diligently, yeah? Get 100. Okay? Promise me. God bless you.